Mert Ramazan Demir barely had time to settle back into his routine after military service before he found himself in the spotlight once again. But this time, it wasn't due to a new film, a shoot, or a romance. Instead, it was because of a silent yet very loud action. He began a global cleanup of his Instagram. Deletions, unfollows, disappearances. All happened at such a rapid pace that his followers struggled to keep track of who he had excluded this time. At first, it all seemed innocent. A few deleted posts. So what? He posted, then erased. But when photos from a well-known haircare brand's advertising campaign vanished, followed by images from his new film, The Abandoned Man, it became clear. This was not spontaneity. This was a plan. Perhaps he decided to reassemble his public image. Or maybe he wants to launch the film with a new, more powerful promotional campaign. Or perhaps he was simply tired of the old one. But then a real storm began. Mert started unfollowing people en masse. And not just colleagues, he even removed his own family from his followers. Mother, father, brothers, sisters, brothers' wives, everyone. Next, it was the cast of the series Kingfisher. Belen, Diab, Asma, Asuman, Degla, Sultan, Halil, Aunt Khadija. Each name shocked fans. He even unfollowed the children who appeared in the project and the official page of the series. And this was just the beginning. Actors and crew members from his other works, Shahmaran, The Abandoned Man, and anyone who had ever been close to Afra Saracholu, were also unfollowed. He removed her friends, manager, and their shared circle. It looks like a deliberate step to cut the invisible thread that connected him to his past. As if he told himself, enough. Enough of being part of something that no longer reflects who he is. Instagram quickly reacted. The protection system kicked in, and due to the mass unfollows, Mert's profile was temporarily restricted. He would have to wait a day before continuing to remove people from his followers. But even that was enough to create a stir. Fans are speculating. What is happening? A reboot? A personal crisis? Or a new beginning? There are no answers. But there have been reactions. Some of those he unfollowed did the same in return. The first to respond were the actors from Kingfisher. The tone in fan communities has shifted. Some defend the actor while others condemn him. Some are convinced this is a strategy to turn the account into a purely professional tool. Others say it's a sign. Something inside Mert has changed, and now he is cleansing everything around him, as if preparing for a completely different life. There is another theory. Military service may have influenced him more than we can imagine. Perhaps in isolation, away from the hustle and bustle and social media, he re-evaluated who he truly needs by his side, who he no longer wants to see, even virtually. And upon returning, he simply made a decision. A radical, honest, and painful one. But it is this very honesty that makes Marta Demira so special. He doesn't try to be convenient. He doesn't explain or justify himself. He acts, and his actions speak far louder than any interview. This is not just a formality, it is a statement about a new facet, about a new silence, about a new chapter that he has opened without saying a word. We are accustomed to thinking of Mert as a thoughtful person. He doesn't jump at the first opportunity, nor does he act for the public eye. But this sweeping digital gesture is not just a cleanup of his profile. It feels like an attempt to redraw the boundaries between himself and everyone else. Who will remain in his new reality? who will stand behind him and who will be left outside. Perhaps it's simply a desire to clear everything around him, to shed a burden, to rethink. After months of military service, a person changes. They emerge different. And sometimes the first thing they do is start the restructuring with what is closest. Their world on Instagram. It's a safe space where you set the rules. Who to be with, who to see, who to read. On the other hand, Instagram today is not just a social network, it's a stage. And when you stop greeting colleagues, friends, and family on that stage, it cannot go unnoticed. It is perceived as a signal. Even if you didn't intend to hurt anyone, even if you're just tired. That's exactly what happened. Some actors, as we've already seen, took this step very personally. For example, Belen Akil. After Mert unfollowed her, she did the same. And it wasn't just a retaliatory gesture. It was a quiet but sharp boundary. You've crossed me out, so I'll do the same. The others remain silent for now. But in this case, silence speaks much louder than words. What is this? Conscious isolation? Preparation for a new role? Perhaps even a painful personal phase in which he shuts out everything that reminds him of the past? We don't know. But one thing is clear. Mert's actions are not accidental. This is not the step of an emotional teenager, but of an adult trying to control the only space where he still has power, his public domain. He wants his account to be clean, professional, without noise, without obligations, just work, projects, premieres, no love, no family, no past series. Only what is happening now. And perhaps this is a way to protect himself from emotions, from drama, from what the public constantly expects from him. But as you understand, the public is always waiting and always interpreting, even silence. And so we find ourselves once again faced with the question, was it worth it? Was it worth cutting ties so abruptly? Or would it have been better to delete everyone, leaving an empty list, thus avoiding hints, misunderstandings, and accidental hurts? Some might see this as a new phase. Others might simply see strength. The strength to say, right now, I am alone. This is not against anyone, it's for myself. But when only the chosen ones remain, it becomes a story with subtext. It's a reason for rumors, for conflicts, for countless versions in which the truth gets lost. And yet, it's all a choice. His right, his life. And if Mert has decided to set those boundaries this way, then it's what he needs right now. Perhaps for a time, perhaps forever. As you can understand, the wave of unfollows initiated by Mert Ramazan Demir did not go unanswered. In the Turkish show business, especially in the Instagram era, an unfollow speaks louder than any interview. And yesterday, we witnessed just such a reaction. Swift, symbolic, and sharp. The first to respond was Buchi Bossa Karaman, well known to viewers as Belen Bello from Kingfisher. She was the first to notice that Mert was no longer following her. And shortly after, she unfollowed him in return. Silently, but decisively. Then came a moment that made many gasp. Belen Akil, who played Diara in the third season of Kingfisher, also unfollowed Mert. But that didn't seem enough for her. She didn't just exit his followers list, she sent a signal, and she aimed it squarely at the target. Belen visited Afra Saracholu's profile and not only liked an old post of hers, she also commented with red hearts, a symbol that in this context reads like a flag. Red, very red, and very clear. She stands with Afra. This is not just supporting a post. This is a step. This is a statement. This is a position. This is I'm with her, not with him. Shortly after, Selene Bozato, who played Asma in Kingfisher, followed the same path. She too unfollowed Mert. Another actor, another name, another brick in the symbolic wall of alienation that perhaps no one intended to build, but which has nonetheless risen from gestures, likes, silence, and unfollows. And we are left to observe, to think, to discuss, because no matter how hard he tries to hide from attention, Mert Ramazan Demir remains at the center of every drama. Even if that drama is just an Instagram followers list. Share your thoughts. Is this a rethinking, pain, or a strategic move? Would you prefer he just unfollowed everyone, or do you support his choice? Write in the comments and don't miss the next video. Perhaps then we will finally understand where all of this is heading.